Welcome to Time Well Spent, a podcast from LaborSync, the only real-time, multilingual timesheet software your business will ever need. So let me ask you a question. If you pay someone to stand in a hole for 8 hours, but the hole doesn't get any deeper, did you actually accomplish anything?
Yeah, I mean, most business owners shudder when they're forced to actually think about that scenario in real life.
Right, it's a nightmare. And today on Time Well Spent, we're diving into a recent LaborSync blog article to explore exactly why businesses have to stop measuring just, attention and start measuring actual outcomes.
Exactly. Because historically, I mean, industries like field service and construction, they really obsess over presence.
It's being there.
Right, just being physically present. A manager looks at the clock and says, okay, did the crew arrive at 7 a.m.? Did they leave at 4 p.m.?
And if yes, then it's a successful day, right?
That's the mindset, yeah. But the market doesn't pay for sweat. It pays for solved problems.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a lot like vanity metrics in marketing.
Oh, totally.
Like, you can pay for 1 million people to see a billboard, but if nobody actually buys the product, those impressions mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah, zero.
It's the exact same on a job site. Hours on a timesheet mean zero if the roof isn't actually finished.
Right, because attention is merely a diagnostic tool. It's a leading indicator.
Okay, a leading indicator.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you need to know a crew physically arrived. If nobody shows up, the outcome is zero. So presence is the baseline, but the outcome itself has to be your North Star.
I do have to push back here, though, just a bit, because there's that old saying, 90% of life is just showing up. Right.
People do say that, yes.
Right. So if a manager doesn't make sure their crew is clocking in on time, doesn't the whole operation just fall into chaos? Like, isn't presence the necessary foundation?
Well, it is a foundation, sure, but treating it as the ultimate goal is just a disaster for your business margins.
A disaster. How so?
Because when employees figure out that management only cares about punching the clock, their whole motivation shifts. They stop looking for ways to be efficient, and they just start stretching tasks out to fill the 8-hour day.
Oh, wow. So you actually end up punishing your best workers?
Exactly.
And you're rewarding the ones who are just, dragging their feet.
Precisely. Think about it. A crew that is always perfectly on time but takes twice as long to do the actual job, they are quietly killing your profitability.
Well, a crew that, I don't know, maybe clocks in 5 minutes late but finishes the job 20% faster, they're the ones actually driving growth.
Yes. And missing that distinction creates what the blog article calls the scaling trap.
The scaling trap.
Right. A business gets busy, management panics, and they hire more people.
Just throwing bodies at the problem.
Exactly. But adding more workers, more attention to a broken system, just scales the inefficiency. Growing a team without controlling the actual outcomes just accelerates your financial losses.
So if we agree that scaling a broken system is a disaster, the obvious hurdle for a business owner is, well, how do you track outcomes without physically standing over your crew's shoulder with a clipboard?
You have to lean on technology.
Right.
The LaborSync blog article lays out how software provides clarity over all that chaos. First, tools like geofencing and GPS, they automatically handle the attention piece.
Like drawing a digital boundary around the job site.
Exactly. The software logs exactly when a worker enters and leaves.
Okay, so the baseline presence is automated. But how does that actually shift the focus to outcomes? Like, how do we move from they were there to here is what they accomplished?
By categorizing that captured time, modern software doesn't just log a flat 8 hours. It maps those hours against specific job codes and project milestones.
Oh, so managers aren't just seeing that a worker was on site.
Right. They see exactly how much time was spent on framing versus drywall, or, how many hours were burned just sitting in traffic.
So you're tracking the what alongside the where.
Yes, exactly.
Which immediately exposes what the article calls slow leaks in your business.
Yes, slow leaks.
Because you instantly see if labor costs are quietly eating up the margins on what you thought was a really lucrative project.
Or you spot efficiency gaps you never even knew existed. Suddenly you have the actual data to understand why Team A can build a deck in 3 days, while Team B always takes 5.
Which is huge.
It is.
Mm.
When you tie time directly to specific outcomes, you stop guessing and you start actually managing milestones.
That makes total sense. Which leaves you, the listener, with this thought to mull over. If you successfully automate your time tracking and transition your business to purely measuring outcomes, how does that change who you hire?
That's a great question.
Because suddenly the worker who is terrible at early mornings but works twice as fast becomes your most valuable asset. This episode of Time Well Spent was brought to you by LaborSync. Track employee hours and job site locations in real time from any device. Start your risk-free trial today at laborsync.com.